So, how do you feel when it comes to um just game leaks in general? Like, do you think they have a place in the gaming community? Like, do you find them like something you um use to gauge like, okay, I'm interested in this game, or oh, because I know this DLC is coming up for this game, now, like I will make my purchase, or I will put my money into it, or you know what I mean? Like you use it as
Yeah.
a means to help make your decisions. Do you have any comments
I
about,
mean,
or how do you feel about
with
leaks?
some leaks, they're fun for engagement, but you can't just use it on anybody. It's more like a conversation piece that you'll have with your circle of friends. You try to
Mm,
bring it like to other people, they'll either be too sensitive about it, or you just get ripped to shreds.
yes, it definitely is not for everybody for sure. I can definitely agree on that because
But
there are people
for
who go ahead, go ahead.
no, no, I just lost my train of thought. Go,
Okay,
it'll come back. But
so basically, I mean, leaks definitely do have a place in some ways because it helps the players like prepare for like in this specific case, prepare for certain characters, right? And you can farm for the materials and all that stuff. But on the other side, it does ruin it for a lot of people because they want to be surprised, they want to be hype, they want to, you know, it becomes trivial, and not only for just knowing what characters coming up, but also possibly for like the lore, right? The story, it spoils, right? It's almost like if you leak the entire script for this movie, right? Like you already know what's gonna happen. Like, all right, I'm not gonna go watch it or whatever the case may be. But the impression, right, will be very, very different if a player were to not know about this character coming up versus a player knowing what kind of characters we're looking forward to and such, right?
yeah,
Um, but when it comes to and that, of course, that was just gotcha games or whatever, specifically, and I guess you could say more specifically on Hoyo games like ZZZ and Genshin and even Star Rail, of course. But when it
yeah,
comes to the other side of things, we've seen the terrible effects of leaks because we play or at least pay attention to fighting games, right? And fighting games are all about the hype and the surprise, the shock, and
yeah.
all
The
those
shock
things.
value, but
Shock, yeah, those things, right? They take those very, very seriously, right?
we take it seriously, and when we do see leaks, we take it with a huge grain of salt. It's not a teaspoon, everybody. It's
Right.
like you get the full on like bottle tap,
Mm-hmm.
like ready to pour onto your wound. Like, "Eh?"
Yeah. But when it comes to like leaks that have some form of legitimacy, like that definitely ruins it for a lot of people, especially when it's like the big like picture or like a big like thing. I mean, sometimes yeah, they're fake or whatever, blah blah blah. But it definitely shakes things up in the wrong way, And a lot of times, unfortunately, too, Steam has released um like lists or names or like videos or whatever it is, right?
videos or uh, probably like concept art of like
Something, right? Too early, and that kind of ruins the surprise the next day, right? Because a lot of that has happened for like Street Fighter or like Guilty Gear maybe, but other fighting games have gotten the short end of the stick on that, right? Because of that sort of situation. Or yeah, in like YouTube, right? Somebody released the
like
video way too early, right? Because time zones are different. Um, Tekken had one of those situations
yeah,
happen.
Tekken had to do big ass damage control.
Yes. Yeah, that for sure has happened. So that side of things very much takes those things into consideration, and they highly value that, right? But of course, it's not to say that MiHoYo doesn't do those things as well. They want to surprise their audience. They also want to bring that same sort of hype and excitement to their circle, right? But time and time again, I mean, it's been ruined by leaks. Only very few times where there has been characters that just came out of nowhere, and we're like, "Whoa, who's this? Who's that?" Right? That's a very rare occasion if you're in the Hoyle circle, right? Um, it's almost like it almost feels normal at this point. It's like normalized to be seeing these leaks, sadly.
in the leagues, or just it also becomes a mental gymnastics to not like get too invested in the leaks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see what you mean.
Because
Mm,
I was like that with Fortnite. It was I think it was during 2, 3 seasons ago. Someone put out a leak of Godzilla, and
mm-hmm.
they were saying like, "Oh, Godzilla is gonna come, in this season, blah blah blah."
Mm-hmm.
And they showed a potential, model of what he will look
Mm-hmm.
in game, and lo and behold, it was not true at the time. And then a few seasons later, there he is in all his legendary films glory. Because
Ah,
again, kids, Fortnite may be rich, they ain't Toho rich.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like they if they wanted like a like some sort of monster Japanese company, they have a better chance of getting Gamera
Mm-hmm.
like straight from whoever owns Gamera right now,
Yeah, I believe right now it's Kadokawa. I believe.
which will be fucking hilarious. Fortnite does get Gamera, and that's as close as we get as a Godzilla versus Gamera shit.
That's honestly like a lot of things for Fortnite, right? Like, cause we've gotten Street Fighter. Well, yeah, Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat now are coming up, right? And then Marvel versus whatever the fuck, right? Cause Fortnite, they have so many characters up to this point, or so many franchises crossing over. You know,
Like we're just like chatting, like pretty much making a hit list
yeah,
of like, okay, what anime, what video game franchise,
yeah. Who's
what
next?
movie franchise? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this wasn't on my bingo card. I feel like that phrase is like coming back like a lot in a lot of people's like tweets or anyway. Oh, such and such wasn't on my bingo card this year for 2025. Anyway, so yes, so leaks, I think overall, I personally can live without them, right? Overall, I mean, yes, in this specific context when it comes to at least games like Genshin, it does have a use because yes, I can pre-farm these
Yep, you can
material,
prep yourself.
prep yourself so that when you pull for the character, you can just like level them up real fast. And that's been like
Yep,
the norm for me anyway when it comes to Genshin and Star Rail and all that stuff.
same.
Yes. So,
Like, look how hard you and I prepped our ass for Evelyn.
yeah, for sure. And I still like barely scraped by with her what was it? Her abilities or whatever, her
Oh,
skills.
her skill levels.
Yes.
Yeah.
I barely like scraped
Okay, yeah.
by.
I do like with ZZZ right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of going ahead of the game with the leaks, and they're just outright going like, Here's all the upcoming characters. We're beating you, fucking leakers." But it's like you can't really beat
Yeah.
them, because there are those leakers that fucking data mine to hell, and they come back.
Yeah. Well, that's what MiHoYo's trying to crack down on is the plugin, the
They
whatever leaks, private servers, all this stuff, right? You know.
like until a leaker shows me that they're not they're the was easily the clothing stuff, the alternate clothes. But there they showed me that they're not just focusing on the girl characters. They're gonna focus on the men. I'm just gonna be like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
lovely.
Yeah.
Here's a new lichen skin.
Oh man.
You have my attention, my
Yeah.
friend.
Of course.
Pay 20. I don't know what the equivalent, but pay $22 and you can have him without the vest on. He's like, ew. He's like,
Yeah.
here's my
Or
card.
whatever the younger lichen skin, when whenever he was younger, he didn't have the eye patch thing, or the legs.
Or pay $22. I forget what the equivalent is for monochromes and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pay $20 for lighter when he was still brawling
Oh yeah,
on
he was
the
fight. He was
underground
just a full fighter. Yeah, yeah,
fighter, and I'm like, tell me more. He does not have a
yeah.
shirt on. He does
Yeah.
not have a shirt on. Ah,
Hmm.
they got me, kids.
I kind of hope they have summer outfits, but we'll see.
I mean, there's already mods like with
Yes, but legitimate
yeah,
ones.
yeah, you want legitimate, but sometimes the mods one looks cool. Like there's this
Yes.
one Lycan one that he's like in fucking full gear,
Uh huh.
and I'm like, I'll pay for this. This
Yeah.
looks cool, but
Yeah.
how does it function? Like, how does it look
Yeah.
in?
Somebody already modded what do you call modded in Lucy from Cyberpunk
Oh
over
yeah,
Evelyn. Yeah, because she has the line, like she uses wires to fight, so it actually like fits almost perfectly. So I'm like, damn, man, mods, of course. But I think that's also they're trying to crack down on as well, because that is tapping into the game's data or whatever. Like yeah,
yeah.
plugins. That's pretty much what it is considered, unfortunately. But we'll see about how far they'll take that. But so let me ask you, like, can you live without the leaks in general? Like, just like for any game, like no leaks, anything like that,
Yeah, I can live with it. But
without it, or without leaks, or
yeah,
okay,
I can live without the leaks because
yeah,
like why ruin it? For yourself.
yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all on you if you take the leaks too hard or you just pass
But
it off.
yeah,
Like,
sometimes I've had a situation where um Sea of the Wolves DLC was actually leaked early. Like some like one of those like people on X or Twitter, like those people that put a lot of fighting game content a lot. Um Always are gonna just jump right into those leaks and be like, "Oh, here's a fucking picture of all the 5 characters in this DLC thing." I'm like, bro, like I don't think anyone wants to see that. Like,
is like,
goddamn,
bro,
man.
are you working for fucking Steam right now?
Yeah, like, are you like, bro? Like, do you want those leak or do you want those clicks that bad? Like, fuck, man. And what I do is just like I try to like scroll by real fast, like, because I don't want to. Some surprise would be nice. Like, fuck, man. And luckily, I a lot of those times I forget, so then I get like 95% of the surprise. But then whenever I see it, it's like, oh, I remember now. Like, yeah, that was right leaked on Twitter. But yeah, there's just sometimes there are moments where it's like out of control and you just get spoiled. Like ugh, like movies, for example. Like, oh my god, this scene happened, guys. Look at this scene. Look at this scene from this new movie that just came out. I can't fucking believe it. It's like, bro. Chill out, man. People want to see the movie. Don't spoil it, right?
This person died.
Yeah, I
Like,
know. This person died. Oh my god, why? Why, God, why? Yeah. What was like the prime example of that, like a movie? For a movie. I don't know. I don't even want to think about it. Anyway. I know like Mortal Kombat had it bad. Street Fighter had it bad. I think one point Tekken, well, yeah, Tekken had it bad at one point at least. Um, yeah, a lot of games get leaked, and I think we can live without them. You know, as much as yes, and within the gacha game context, it does provide you a way to prepare, but I can live without it. You know, and sometimes, right? Um, things change, right? From closed beta all the way up to release of that character, because what if they're like, oh, this character now takes this material instead? Like I was like, oh my god, no. you know Sometimes it happens.
yep,
Or it is possible, it is super possible. Or there are times people just assume, right? Because for example, like Caesar King, we all thought she was going to be like a defense character, to a sense that like, oh, she's gonna scale off defense, but no, she scale off of impact. So it was like, oh shit, that was a waste of time because I farmed for the wrong drive disc set, in a sense. In fact, they came out with the new drive disc set by the time Caesar King came out, which is kind of like tailor made for her in a sense, but yeah. So yeah, things like that also are something to take into consideration as well. But for the most part, yes, it does provide you like a map. Like, okay, I'm gonna pull for this character. I'm gonna skip on this character banner, right?
yep.
It does help you prepare for that stuff. But ultimately, um, I think they need to just like put out a bunch of characters out on their social media sites. Like, hey, all right, next couple patches, there's these characters, right?
And I'm like, incoming. Here you go.
Incoming, yeah.
Incoming. Here you go.
hmm Instead of like, oh, one character at a time. I think that also creates that sort of issue as well. So there is a bit of like, okay, they have to do their part, but it's also like the Lakers' fault ultimately, yes, because they're the ones, well, leaking out what's considered to be confidential information, right? Trade secrets, you know, something that's not supposed to be revealed until this later in time. And it does, yes, it ruins the hype, the marketing. It costs money, right, to market things right. And if leakers kind of fucking stomp on that, then yeah, that's money lost. When that money could have gone into more of the game's development itself. But hey, game marketing is important too, yes. It's all part of you know, the cycle, I guess you could say.